So what does the person do when he's a habitual sinner? How is he going to make Teshuva? Huh? He says you got to do Teshuva differently. He says first step is you got to forsake his sinful way and his evil attitude. What do they say? They say by the people who are addicted, right? When you go to rehab, the first step is denial. They say, no, I don't have a problem. I could quit any day I want. I'm not really addicted. So such a person, he has to first understand, my friend, you do have a problem. You have to fix your problem. Admit that you're addicted. You do have a sickness. You do have a problem. You do have a bad habit. Yes, you're right. I have a bad habit. I got to change. I got to stop. This is not good. A person who says, no, it's not so bad. It's okay. Big problem. A guy who says, no, I don't have a bad habit. I could stop anytime I want. Also big problem. So it says the Shari Teshuva, first step is acknowledge you have evil ways. Acknowledge you have sinful ways. And you accept upon yourself to forsake them, to get away from them. To resolve to accept upon yourself not to do a sin anymore. And only then you could go and do vidui and feel bad for what you did. The question is why? A guy who did a sin because he fell to the Yetzer Hara one time, over there we say you have to do regret first and then take upon yourself not to do the sin anymore. Here he's saying by the habitual sinner, the guy who always does the sin, has to be reversed. First, he has to take upon himself not to do the sin anymore, and only then he'll be able to go and have real regret. It says in the pasuk, Ya'azov rasha darko, v'ish aven machshavotav yashov el Hashem yerhameu. It says, let the wicked one forsake his way, and only then the immoral man his thoughts, and let him return to Hashem, he will show him mercy. So why does he have to first leave his ways and then do regret? Mashal bezer mi shohez sheretz ba letvol b'taher. Person who's holding the dead sheretz. Sheretz is a crawling creature that gives tumah when it's dead. You're holding the tumah in your hand, and you go where? You go to the mikveh. He goes to the mikveh to become pure. The second he comes out, what is he holding? He's holding tumah, so he becomes tameh right away. You understand what that means? A guy says, I'm not going to steal anymore. I feel bad that I stole money. I want to make teshuvah. I'm not going to look at inappropriate things anymore. I feel bad that I did that. I make teshuvah. I'm not going to curse anymore. I'm not going to fight with my wife anymore. I'm not going to go and, not learn in the evening. I'm not going to watch Netflix anymore. That's it. I'm done with that. And then what? What happens? He goes home and he does the same thing again. He does the same thing again. But I make teshuvah, Rabbi. I make teshuvah. Every night I go, I go home and I do the same habits. He's what? Tover v'sheretz b'yado. He's dipping in the mikvah with the tumah in his hand. The second he comes out, he's tameh again. So what did you do the point? What's the point? What? Yeah, he's holding tumah in his hands. How? You want to do teshuvah and you're holding the sin. You're not letting go of the sin. How can you do teshuvah? You're not letting go. Pasla, throw it away. Get rid of it. How can you come to tahor? You wasted your time going in the mikvah. Why? Because you come out, the second you come out, you're tameh again. What's the point? So therefore he says, how do? You got to put the sheretz down, put the tumah on the side, leave the tumah alone. And then you could go in the mikvah, and then you could come out pure. But if you're holding the sin, and you made teshuvah, so everything is useless, it's pointless. What did you do? You're wasting your time. You think you're serving Hashem. You think you're going to be religious. You think you're doing teshuvah. But really you're serving yourself. You're making yourself like a little reality of your own, where you think, I am religious, I made teshuvah in your own way. Maybe you're fulfilling your Torah. Maybe you're fulfilling your teshuvah, but that's not called teshuvah of Hashem. That's not considered fulfilling Hashem's Torah. Hashem's Torah, you gotta do it right. You gotta do it the proper way. Person says, no, like this, I want like this. It doesn't work like that. That's not, a person says, I want the computer to work without batteries. I want the car to drive without gas. That's not how it works. Maybe in your world, if the world works according to how you made it, fine, it'll work like that way. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. As long as the sheretz is still in your hand, your tumah remains with you. Same thing. In our case, throwing away the privichka, saying, I'm not going to do this anymore, I accept upon myself not to sin anymore, that's throwing away the sheretz. And he says, and regretting what you did, confessing them in vidui, praying to Hashem that He should forgive you, that's the equivalent of going into the mikveh. So people, what do? Hatati, aviti, pashati. And what? They go home? I'm going to do it again. What's the big deal? The next day I'll come, right? The guy told me one time, he says, Rabbi, I come to Nets. You know what happened? All night I was in the nightclub. I was already 3, 4 o'clock. So I feel bad for my sins. So I come to mikveh and I come to Nets. I clean myself. That's it, chiste. And what are you going to do tomorrow? Same thing. It's like the clothes, you wear the clothes, they get dirty. You put them in the laundry, you wash it, you can wear it tomorrow. It's good. I said, no, that's not how it works. That's not Teshuva. You're doing vidui, you're doing harata, and that's the praying to Hashem to forgive you. That's the dipping in the mikveh. But you're dipping in the mikveh with the sheretz in your hand, with the tumah in your hand. First, throwing away the habit and saying, I'm not doing this anymore. This is not me. This is not for me. That's getting rid of the sheretz. That's getting rid of the tumah in your hands. And then you'll finally be able to go and dip in the mikveh. Person who is an occasional sinner, a person who sins every once in a while, he anyways doesn't hold on to the sheretz. He doesn't have a bad habit. But the guy who has a habit, he has to go and do more. He has to do more and actually throw it away. He has to throw it away. Okay, good. So he says, if it happens to be that he goes through suffering, right? And he should first accept upon himself heavenly disciplining, and immediately retract his evil plans and cease his improper actions. Here's what happens. So these guys who have these bad habits, Hashem sometimes sends them suffering. They get hurt. Wow. How did I twist my ankle? Wow, why did Hashem do this to me? Right? Why did Hashem make it to this big deal I had? I was supposed to make good money. All of a sudden it fell apart. Why? What's that? Hashem, why you make me suffer? So now what happens? What do? First of all, a lot of people say, it's his fault. It's who put the toys here? Who put this rock here? It's their fault why I twisted my ankle. No, my friend. Hashem made you go through this for a reason. This is Isuri, this is suffering. Accept it with love. And what? And what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to say, I know why Hashem made me lose this money. It's because I wasn't honest in business. That's why I lost this money. Or you know why my leg, I went to the wrong place. I was walking to the wrong place. That's why my leg twisted my ankle. So what happens? He knows the reason why he did the sin, and that's why Hashem's disciplining him. And what does he say? He has to right away says Teshuva, he has to retract his evil ways. He has to make Teshuva when the Yisurin happens to him. He has to make Teshuva when the bad stuff happens to him. And what? He thinks, okay, it's kapara. I'll continue my ways. So it's like the same thing. Oh, I did a sin, I'll just go to mikveh and go to nets. No, you got to stop doing the sins. You got to change your ways. The guy gets smacked. He gets Yisurim, suffering happens to him. What does he do? Oh, it's for kapara for what I did yesterday. Okay, but today I'll continue with doing whatever I want. No, he says, mashal, it's like a calf. An untrained cow. What do? He doesn't listen to you, so you poke him with a stick. You hit him with a stick. And what? So you should go straight. Hashem also, he pokes us with a stick. He hits us with a stick. So we should stop going crooked. We start going straight. What do? Oh, Hashem pokes us with a stick. What do we say? Sorry, Hashem. I know I went the wrong way. Sorry. But I'm continue going crooked. What is that? Hashem smacked you. Change your ways. And why do you continue going the wrong way? Therefore he says, Shamati, Ephraim mitnoded, Isartani vivasek egel luluman. The prophet said that what? You disciplined me, and I became disciplined like an untrained calf. But the person who doesn't do this, he is doing his wrong. He's not doing teshuvah. He has to go and accept the Yisurim with love and start going the straight path. Baruch Adonai.